I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Hello everyone. Welcome back to the V Squad TV channel. The way Jungkook loves Taehyung is heartbreaking, crazy, obsessive. Jin and all members saw it all. The relationship between BTS members has always been an interesting topic for fans. Behind the stage and in the spotlight, there are hidden stories that have never been fully revealed to the public. One of them is the story of Jungkook and Taehyung. Over the years, many armies have realized that there is something different in the way Jungkook looks at Taehyung. Not just an ordinary friendship, but a feeling that is too deep, too emotional, and can even be called obsessive. Jungkook always shows excessive attention to Taehyung. When the other members are busy talking, Jungkook's gaze remains fixed on Taehyung, as if only Taehyung matters in the room. Even Jin, as the oldest member, once said in an off-cam interview that he could see something unusual in the way Jungkook treats Taehyung. He takes care of Taehyung too much, too afraid of losing him, Jin said at that time. Meanwhile, the other members also secretly realized that there was something unusual in their relationship. Jimin, who is known to be very close to Taehyung, once felt left out because Jungkook's attention was too focused on Taehyung. In a moment backstage, J-Hope caught Jungkook staring at Taehyung with a blank but emotional gaze when Taehyung was joking with RM. "That wasn't a normal friend's gaze," said J-Hope when telling the staff about the incident. Jungkook's feelings for Taehyung have long been a secret kept closely by the members. Although they never talked about it openly, everyone knew that Jungkook had something big in his heart. Several times Jungkook couldn't hide his emotions. When Taehyung got too close to someone else, Jungkook's expression changed drastically. He became quiet, gloomy, and sometimes even chose to leave the room. One of the most memorable incidents was when Taehyung was seen getting close to a female artist at a music event. Jungkook, who initially looked cheerful, immediately became gloomy for the rest of the night. Jin, as the oldest brother, tried to calm Jungkook down at that time. However, Jungkook just kept quiet, staring blankly at Taehyung, who was laughing with the artist. "I can't see him like that," Jungkook whispered to Jin. Those words were so painful, showing how deep his feelings had been hidden all this time. Jungkook's jealousy towards anyone close to Taehyung was getting harder and harder to control. Even Jimin, who used to be very close to Taehyung, felt the distance created by Jungkook. Once in a practice session, when Jimin hugged Taehyung intimately, Jungkook immediately left the practice room without a word. All the members could only look at each other, knowing that something was wrong. RM, as the leader, had time to talk to Jungkook. But Jungkook only said, "I can't stop thinking about him. I hate it when other people get too close." This overly emotional relationship began to affect the group's atmosphere. The members felt awkward, especially when Taehyung started to make many connections outside the group. Taehyung himself actually loved Jungkook, but never thought that Jungkook's feelings had gone beyond friendship. Taehyung felt guilty for unknowingly letting Jungkook get caught up in those feelings. On one occasion, Taehyung wrote a personal message to Jungkook, "We're still best friends, right? Don't let our feelings drive us away from each other." That message broke Jungkook's heart. He knew that his feelings could not be reciprocated in the same way by Taehyung. But he also couldn't let go. Jungkook became increasingly obsessive. He always wanted to know where Taehyung was, who he was with, and what he was doing. Even the agency staff began to worry. Jin and Suga finally spoke directly to Jungkook, asking him to keep his distance and maintain the group atmosphere. But Jungkook just nodded without really accepting the advice. Several times when the group was filming a variety show, Jungkook's expression changed drastically when Taehyung got closer to another member. Sensitive cameramen often recorded those moments. ARMY began to make theories about how deep Jungkook's feelings were for Taehyung. Many speculated that Jungkook had a one-sided love that could never be expressed. Behind the smiles and jokes in front of the camera, there is a story about a heart that continues to be hurt, about feelings that are trapped between the boundaries of friendship and love.
Please, Lord, give me a sign.
Jungkook knew that as long as he was with BTS, he would never be able to completely avoid those feelings. Taehyung was a part of his life, a source of happiness and unavoidable pain. And all the members saw it, felt it, and silently prayed that one day Jungkook would find peace without having to hurt himself because of love that was too deep. That night, after a staff birthday celebration, the members returned to the dorm. The atmosphere was a little tense. Taehyung sat on the balcony, staring at the stars, while Jungkook just stood in the doorway, staring at his back. "I don't know what to do," Jungkook whispered softly, a voice that could only be heard by the night wind. Inside, he was fighting between wanting to get closer or to go far away. Taehyung, who realized Jungkook's presence, slowly said without turning his head, "You don't have to keep doing this, Kook. I don't want you to suffer because of me." Those words stabbed Jungkook's heart deeper than he could have imagined. But what hurt more was knowing that Taehyung knew all along, and still pretended nothing had happened. Jin, who had been peeking from inside the room, finally decided to speak to RM. "If this continues, one of them will be destroyed, Namjoon. We have to find a way." RM nodded. He knew very well that as the leader, he was responsible for maintaining the emotional balance between the members. But this situation was too complicated. This was not just a small conflict or misunderstanding. This was about feelings that were too deep. That night, Suga sat with Jungkook in the living room. Without saying much, Suga just put a canned drink in front of Jungkook and said, "You have to be strong, Kook. Sometimes, you don't always have to have love." Jungkook just nodded, but his eyes kept staring at the balcony door, hoping Taehyung would come back in. But what he hoped for never came. A few days later, the group's schedule was quite busy. They had to attend photo shoots, choreography practice, and prepare for a new album. But the atmosphere between Jungkook and Taehyung was getting more awkward. Taehyung tried to act normal, joking with the other members, but Jungkook was getting more distant. Even during the filming of a variety show, when Taehyung tried to hug Jungkook like before, Jungkook avoided him subtly. Jimin, who saw the incident, immediately felt uneasy. He knew this was no longer about one-sided love, but about two hearts that were both hurt because they couldn't have each other. "You have to stop hurting yourself, Jungkook," Jimin said when they were both in the practice room. But Jungkook only smiled thinly. "I don't know how, Hyung." The members began to worry, especially when Jungkook was seen going alone at night to the studio several times, writing sad songs that he never published. In one of his song notes, Jungkook wrote the lyrics, "I love you in silence, behind the shadows. Even when you don't know, I'm still here." A story that was never revealed to the public, but the BTS members know. They saw it, felt it, and secretly hoped that Jungkook's obsessive love could change into something more peaceful one day. The story of Jungkook and Taehyung may never be fully known to the public, but for the BTS members, they witnessed everything. From the beginning to the wounds that secretly grew between the two. A relationship that is too deep to be called friendship, but too painful to be expressed as love. Thank you for watching this emotional story until the end. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell for other BTS stories that are no less dramatic, full of secrets, and hidden conflicts behind the stage. See you in the next story.
I've got my own issues. I need a comb to get through. Don't need to groan with you. Just go get your own tissue.